Hello, ever young family. Still the book, The Seven Chapters of Marriage. Today we are reading chapter 3b. Chapter 3b. Yeah, last time we asked a question. The question came with a proverb. The question said, after the question, it said, when people do not ask questions, they assume their ignorance as an answer. Sometimes we falsely assume that in 1,000 questions have one answer, and one answer fits 1,000 questions. The truth of the matter is that it was God who closed the womb of Hannah. 1 Samuel chapter 5 verse 6. Interestingly, the story does not tell us why God did that. Nonetheless, it was the same God who opened the womb of Hannah and granted her the gift of Samuel, who became a great prophet in good standing before the Lord. Samuel overshadowed the many sons of Hannah. Maybe we could borrow the words of John chapter 9 verse 3 and say that God closed the womb of Hannah and opened it at his own time, that the glory of God may be revealed in her. Society poses a challenge for all of us sometimes. The issue of childlessness could cause a happy marriage to be a union of disaster. Your own people could secretly take the second awkward look at you if you are without a child. Even if it is temporary childlessness like that of Anna, it is a life that will leave your pillow without peace. If it is permanently childlessness, you will need more than the courage and the love of your husband to live a happy marriage. Sometimes people are not even aware of what is happening to them. They do not know the cause of their predicament, and rather than support and encouragement, we turn to call them names and deny them the opportunity to be happily married, as if to say that when the tree does not bear fruit, it cannot do a simple thing like giving shade. Wow. How the story ends. The story of Anna ends with her giving birth to Samuel. In her joy, she prayed, "My heart exalts in the Lord. My strength is exalted in my God. My mouth derides my enemies because I rejoice in my victory. There is no holy one like the Lord, no one beside you. There is no rock like you, our God. Talk no more so very proudly. Let not arrogance come from your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him action are willed. The bow of the mighty are broken, but the feeble gild on strength. Those who were full have hired themselves out for bread, but those who were hungry are fat with spoil. The barren has borne 7, but she who has many children is fallen. The Lord kills and brings to life. He brings down to shield and raises up. The Lord makes poor and makes rich. He brings low, he also exalts. He raises up the poor. from the dust. He lifts the needy from the ash heap to make them sit with prince and inherit a seat of honor. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and on them he has set the world. He will guide the feet of his faithful ones, but the wicked shall be cut off in darkness. For not by might does one prevail. The Lord for not by might does one prevail the Lord. His adversaries shall be shattered. The Most High will thunder in heaven. The Lord will judge an end of the earth. He will give strength to his king and exalt the power of his anointed. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 1 to 10. Not every life phenomenon has answers. Similarly, not every tree bears fruit, even though we expect most of them to bear fruit, if not all. Some are great oaks with deep root, but give no fruit. They give us great shelter and wonderful logs for furniture. Some of those trees serve as support for other trees to bear good fruit. Others also bear fruit, but we cannot even consume. If a person cannot do the obvious in the eyes of many, it does not mean the person has nothing to offer. If a couple have no children, it doesn't mean their marriage adds no positive value to society. Sarah, the wife of Abraham, had to wait until she was in her 90s to give birth to Isaac, a name which meant laughter. Literally, Sarah had to wait till her 90s to have a laughter or a laugh. We know from scripture that Isaac was no ordinary child because he was the promising child from whom the nation of Israel will be born. Rebecca had to wait 20 years of marriage to have children of her own. She finally gave birth to Jacob and Esau, who influenced and shaped the course of history. Similarly, Rachel also had to live for long before giving birth to Joseph. And Benjamin, she lost her life when giving birth to Benjamin. In George chapter 3, 13 verse 1, we read that the mother of Samson, the wife of Mona of the tribe of Dan, was a barren woman who got healed by an angel. Later, she gives birth to Samson, who becomes the strongest man that ever lived and walked on the land of the Jewels. Samson was dedicated to be a Nazarite from birth so that he could save God's people from 40 years of bondage under the Philistine. There are many similar examples from scripture of women who had to wait for long period to deliver a child, who became one of the few who shape history. When a man and a woman have tried all they could before the Lord and the cry of a child is never heard from their home, the best we could do is support them with prayer and encouragement. Most often the prayers are answered, but in a few instances, God grants them the answer to a different prayer. Interestingly, many people were cared for by whom they did not come from, hands they did not know, and the homes they were not connected to by birth or adoption. Some of these people who cared for those people are couples who did not have child or children of their own.